Welcome back to Digital Insecurity. Today's topic, spyware. Your car is selling you out. We have got to understand that there is not a rock we can hide under at this point. And if there was, that rock would sell you out too. So here we go, back to digital insecurity, spyware. Your car is selling you out. Let's go ahead and take some recent news today. We've got this one here 1 hour ago on AFP, and this is it came to me via the MSN. 50,000 phone numbers worldwide on list linked to this spyware. An Israeli firm accused of supplying spyware to governments. Again, it's off the shelf, has been linked to a list of 50,000 smartphone numbers, including those of activists, journalists, business executives, and politicians around the world, according to reports Sunday. Israel's NSO group and its Pegasus malware has been in the headlines since at least 2016, when researchers accused it of helping spy on a dissident in UAE. So there's more information here if you want to read that article, but let's keep going here. Israeli spyware maker is in the spotlight amid reports of wide abuses posted on 7/19/2021 in Tel Aviv. So apparently this article is posted tomorrow. We're getting it today. A major Israeli cyber surveillance company, NSO Group, came under heightened scrutiny Sunday after an international alliance of news outlets reported that governments used its software to target journalists, dissidents, and opposition leaders. Israeli is one of the most powerful locations on this planet. Every one of their citizens serves in their military. They are brilliant individuals, and we know who pulls a lot of the blackmail screens here, the Mossad. So let's keep looking here. We have this company, MobilEye, and they've got collision avoidance system, data services serve the public more efficiently, ADAS and GPS tracking, even helps with autonomous driving. It's one of the components that a lot of the autonomous driving vehicles will use, self-driving vehicles. It's on many vehicles as even just an add-on. Vehicle manufacturers often don't have to pay for this component. MobilEye will offer it for free. And what it does is it tracks speed, it tracks location, destination, it's all kinds of information that it grabs. And it's really in the notion of gathering data for safety, and usually in some kind of a collision avoidance system. But I met the CEO, and this must have been about 2016, 2017. And he gave a little bit different story about what his beloved company actually does. And it looks like, once again, often when I pull up the headers, I go back to them and I notice they kind of disappeared. So the other one that I pulled up here for us, I think it's really worth looking at. Oh, here we go. This was a search for it, Crunchbase MobilEye. I see I spelled Crunchbase, but I've pointed this out before. Crunchbase is a great site to go to find out more information. So if we look over here on the right, we have MobilEye is an Israeli subsidiary of Intel that develops self-driving cars and advanced driver assistance systems, MobilEye headquarters. And again, you've got mobile and the word I right in it. And main research and development R&D center is located in Jerusalem, operating under the company name MobilEye. So if we move back over here, this is a little different picture. MobilEye, an Intel company. Now that sounds a little bit different than MobilEye. We're just helping you collect data, avoid. No, it's massive. If you've got a car built after 2019 for sure, but I think 2009, is about when they started doing their testing and implementing these, and it was founded 10 years before that, even in 1999. Their revenue startup out the gate was massive. It's the same as what we see for the Facebook and the Google here. They got massive funds because they were working with 3-letter agencies. In this case, it's a 6-letter agency, but it's still the same. And instead, it's on almost every vehicle on the road today in the United States. Now, the difference in Western Europe is it's also on those cars, but GDPR offers more protections, and they have to notify the owner of the vehicle when they purchase the vehicle what information can be collected, and the individual needs to opt in line by line, not section by section. Where in the United States, you opt out by not purchasing the car, because in actuality, to opt out of line by line is so entangled in the vehicle operation that it's just not possible. So once again, MobilEye, that's just kind of helping us out here, is actually an intel company. And the United States has agreed to give them all the intel on every individual who has a car manufactured. And again, I believe it since 2009. It started out with basic tracking and moved into cameras in the system and listening devices. It's intel. So let's keep looking here. So what we want to know here is, what is this organization? This organization that the CEO of MobilEye said that he worked very closely with, thus a direct dotted line, if not a solid line, is a National Intelligence Agency. Short for is the National Intelligence Agency of Israel. It is one of the main entities in the Israeli intelligence community, along with, and they name those. You are not alone. This is worse than 1984 could have ever predicted. George Orwell's got nothing on this. So what else do we want to look at? So that's all the information here. I just have an awareness that MobilEye and the connection. And as we start looking through here, there's massive amounts of surveillance on all kinds of levels, physical surveillance and digital, that comes out of this country. Now, I wanted to point out 2 other things before I bow out. This one's interesting. In the earlier release that I labeled prequel, we had, towards the end, I talked a little bit about the contemporary art market, and that is nothing more than money laundering. It's actually a lot worse than that, but we won't get into that on this channel. And you probably already know the depth of it, but we'll just call it money laundering. So here, this is 14 hours ago, and once again, dismisses accusations. This was Fox News. This person's artwork venture opens a gate to massive corruption because of what I explained before. Secret Empires author Peter Schweitzer provides an update on the White Building defending this individual's artwork sales, arguing their solution of transparency is to hide who engaged in the transaction. It's pretty deep how the money's shifting hands. It's actually sickening. Okay, so let's look here. There's one last here. Military-grade spyware found on journalists and activists' phones. So this is really serious. This is very similar to the path that Tucker Carlson was reporting. And it all came out. It's in your pocket, and your car is spying on you too. We're living in a very serious world where privacy is no longer a right. It's not an expectation. It's not even a privilege offered to us. Digital insecurity presenting spyware. Your car is selling you out.